Yes. Now, I think we are good to go. We are good to go. So I hope everyone are connected past paper. So we can start from the sitting question number 1B, AP 2024 1B to Kisonga. That one was application question. That one was an application question. So AP 2024, question number 1B. So we're going to pick randomly. Let us see about that one. So if we do at least 2 questions, was at least 2 or 3 per any revision. Inaguzia kila topic. So nimefanya kwa video nitakuwa nikiwarifa, mnaenda watch video because the video is there in YouTube. Yenye nimeshafanya kwa class, I will not repeat it. Now let us see the last sitting paper. Question number 1A. So number 1A, I have the notes nitakuwatumia. Topic 1 to 4. So 1B, I'm concerned with 1B. This 1B is high-low method. So this one is under topic 4. This one is adopted from topic 4. So April. So in case asionekani, ndaniambia. So the question is adopted in topic. So it's a combination of 2 topics. So but mostly it is cost estimation. Cost estimation. So it's under topic cost estimation. The topic is high-low method. High-low method. So high-low method. Now in high-low method, we shall use this formula. So it's under high-low method. We shall use this formula to get the trend of equation. Highest cost minus lowest cost over highest level of activity minus ukilog na lapi the better because lapi inaoneshanga poa. Lowest level of activity. In case hauoni my screen, make sure umesema so that ujue shida itakuwa iko wapi.
You can repeat your connection issue.
Regression. Ile mambo na hebu type kwa sababu una katika. Unaweza type and then nitaangalia. Now in this case, we have 2 kind of item. So we have production cost. So we have production cost under marginal costing. And we have production. So we have production under marginal costing with the units. So you know, notice. Now here we have production under, so production cost, production cost under marginal costing, and then we have production cost under absorption. So this question involves 2 topics, marginal and absorption costing with the cost estimation, with absorption costing. Now let us go to the question. Let's see. So sorry, we can type. Now we have OG Ltd manufacture and sells mobile phones. The company has the budgeted profit or loss for the month of May 2024. So we have the sales, we have the less cost of sales, production, we have closing stock, then gross profit, then the variable production, which is 10% of the sales, then fixed selling. Then wakatuambia the budgeted was prepared using absorption. Now hapo unasema production cost and absorption. The production cost and absorption ni ngapi? Tunaenda pale juu kwa sales, chini less. So less cost of sales. Unaenda kwa production. So production ni ngapi? 18. Mnaiona 18 million. How many units? So this one for how many units? 1,800 units. Now we need to determine production cost and a marginal. Production cost and a marginal costing. Now, then pale chini, if the budgeted production in million four has been 2,000 units, the total production will be 18,800. So this one ndio tunatumia kama our marginal. If the budgeted in May 2024 was 2,000 units, the production will be what? 18,800. So hapa ndio ilikuwa 2,3. For how many units? 2,000 units. Now we can use the high-low method, but we don't need the. So anyway, the highest. So find B. So the highest 18,800 minus the lowest cost 18 million. We divide by the highest units. The highest level of activities in units. So when we talk about the level of activities, for example, as a define what is the level of activity to define that for topic 1. So the level of activities represent the number of units produced and sold, in short. So we have 2,000 units minus 1,800 units. So we shall find it B. So what will be our B? So 18,800,000 minus 18 million. Divided by 2,000 minus 1,800. That will be equal to 4,000. 4,000. So this one is Kenya shillings. Kenya shillings. 4,000 per unit. Remember, in our previous class, high-low method, we said that B represents variable cost per unit. Variable cost per unit. Remember, we said under this topic, cost estimation, we said B represents variable cost per. The keyword is the word per unit. Per unit. Now we can come up with a trend equation. Remember, our trend equation is given by. So trend equation. This is something you need to know. Trend equation. So it's given by y is equal to a plus bx. Now we are going to use this information. This one and this one. So you pick one. So remember, our production cost represent y. Our units represent x. That's what it means. Now tunaweza pick moja. So mimi ndio na the last one, 18,800. Now when y is 18,800,000, we don't know A, but we know B as our B ndio hii 4,000 x. Sivyo? So this one is our trend equation. Now that's the requirement. Using high-low method. Okay, no, we know x. Sorry, we know x. We need to find A. So we know x. So if y is 1,800, we don't know A, plus B, we know B is 4,000, and we know x is So for 18,800, X is 2,000. So find B, find A. So 18,800 is equals to A. So 4,000 times 2,000. This one is equals to 8. I think 80 million. Find A will be equal to 18,800 minus 80 million. So what would be the value of A? Minus 80 million. The value of A is 10,000, 800,000. So remember from our previous topic, we said A represent fixed cost. A represent fixed cost. So remember from our previous class for cost estimation, we said A represents fixed cost. And remember, it is not in units, not in units, but full cost. Now, what is the requirement for this question? So requirement, using arrow method, calculate variable cost per unit. Ndio hii hapa, we have it. Number B, the monthly fixed production. Ndio hii, 10,800. That one marks the end of high-low method under that question for revision. Any question? Yes? Kuna swali? That one haina any swali. So you shall allow me to wrap. Do tufanye part B. I can see you have part B. Now, if you were to use the marginal costing principle, we are required to determine the net profit. So do you remember the marginal costing principle? Do you remember that one? Now, that one you need to know. So let us see how we can do it. Part B. So hiyo swali kumbe ilikuwa mrefu. Niliona kama ni inaishia part A. Kumbe inaendelea. So using the same question. So continuation. So allow me to rub. Should I rub? Na mchangamuke bwana. Msipoongea nita assume bado mnaandika. Sawa sawa. So let us do marginal costing. So nitawapea format na tutumie format kufanya tuone. So let us do marginal costing. Sawa sawa. Najua time hatuna time. So let me allow me to rub. Allow me to rub this one. Now, I want you to note this amount. This 4,000 and this 10,800 as fixed cost. Hii tuiweke wapi? Acha tuiweke hapa. I hope inaonekana B as 4,000 and then A as 10,800. We shall need these figures. Now let us do marginal costing. So the question hapa ametupatia in form of in form of absorption. Let us try in form of marginal costing. So we shall need to come up with a statement. So this is the statement. So we shall say OJ Ltd. So OJ Ltd. Statement of marginal costing. Statement of marginal costing for the month of May 2024. May 2024. Now we start with the sales. So we start with the sales. Now, what's our sales? Now tunaenda pale juu tunatumia the sales for marginal and absorption zinakuwa the same. Hizo zinakuwa the same. We multiply by 18,000 per unit. Total inakuwa 600,000. Then you are supposed to less marginal cost. Marginal cost. So we start with opening stock or the inventory. Now, do we have an opening inventory pale? Hatuna. So ni zero. So hiyo tunasema ni zero kwa sababu hata kwa marginal, kwa absorption, kwa hiyo ndio tumepatia pale kwa absorption ni zero. Haya, production. Na hapa ni sasa kuna mambo. Now for production, tunachukua the amount of production which is 1,800. We multiply with variable cost per unit. Now let us come up with the equation here. Full cost, so this is some working, is equals to variable cost plus fixed cost. Sivyo? Now kwa swali yetu pale juu tumepata 10,000 per unit. This one represents full cost. What about variable cost? Ndio hii hapa niwaambia tuweke ni 4,000 plus fixed cost hatujui. So kumaanisha our fixed cost ni ngapi? Our fixed cost per unit ni this is supposed to be 10,000, not 10 million, 10,000. Tumeitoa pale kwa production, less cost of sales, production up 1,800 multiplied by 10,000. It has been prepared using absorption, and therefore that one represents full cost, which is variable plus cost. So fixed cost ni ngapi? 6,000. Now I'm interested with variable cost. So multiply with variable cost. So marginal cost, you multiply with the marginal cost. And remember, marginal cost is variable. No, marginal cost is variable. So okay, multiply. Let us multiply and see. So 1,800 times 4,000 inakupea 72. Zero ngapi? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 7.2. Then you are supposed to less closing stock. So alipatia pale juu ngapi? The number of units 600. But you are supposed to multiply with what? Not full cost, but variable cost. So multiply with 4,000. Nakupea ngapi? So 600 times 4,000. Nakupatia 24. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Aya. So less. So 0 plus 7.2 minus 2.4 itakuwa ngapi? So 0 plus 7.2. So hicho pia unafanya ndio mahali nikikosea ku minus unakiniambia. So this will be equal to 4,4800,000. Aya, we less. We get now. In this case, we get contribution for marginal. Remember, for absorption, hebu angalia absorption pale juu. Ukieleza unapata nini? Gross profit. Of which ni kind of the same. Inafaa ikuwe hapo. For marginal kuna figure, kuna a term we use, but this one is contribution. So what is the contribution? Tunachukua 21,600 minus 4,800. Atupea ngapi? So which one unafanya? You confirm 800,000. Now tunaendelea chini yake. Ukishafika hapo, we less variable cost first. Variable selling. So we less variable production, variable cost, other variable cost. Na hiyo ni yuko kwa production. Other variable cost. Na ituambia we have the variable selling. Variable selling. So is our variable selling pale 10% of sales. So 10% of our sales. Our sales ni ngapi? 21,600,000. So itakuwa ngapi? So 10%. So ni kama kusema ni 21,600. So hiyo pero moja 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So we less that one. Do you have any other one? Let us see. It is only variable selling for now. So itakuwa ngapi? So 16,800 minus 22,160. So that is 14,640,000. Now we less other cost, other fixed cost. Now according to the question, kuna fixed cost moja hapo naona. Now tuko na hii kwanza, tuanze na hii fixed. So let me go to fixed production. Fixed production 10,800,000. Haya. And then you have fixed selling. Fixed selling ni ngapi? 17,05. 17,05. Ai, nimefanya nini? Oh, iko sawa. 17,05. 17,05,000. So hilo tupatia ngapi? What do you think? Let us see. 14,640 minus 10,800 minus 17,05. Tupatia 21,35,000. This one becomes our net profit. Now you can confirm if it is true, not if it is true by doing what we call reconciliation. So you are kuuliza, but we can do it. We can try and do it here. Reconciliation statement. Tuone kama ita balance. Let us see. Let us see if we do reconciliation statement, kama ita balance. If it balance, the better. Utoa kuuliza, but waje tujipe mkerere kidogo. Let us see reconciliation statement. Reconciliation statement. Jika inaonekana ama nimetoka nje. Space ni kadogo. Naweza sukuma hii kidogo. Hapo. I think ikisukuma hapo iko sawa. Na open ikilia. Kwa sababu kama sio kilia tutakuwa tunafanya kazi gani? So tunasema for us to do this one, we start with the marginal cost. Now our net profit from marginal cost ndio 21,35,000. I hope it a balance. Aya, then we do an adjustment. So we start with the open difference between. We are supposed to add. I think we are supposed to add. Nikumbushe, are we supposed to add or to less? We add the difference between closing stock. We're supposed to add the difference between closing stock. Now tuanze. So what was the closing stock kutoka kwa yetu? Closing stock pale tupatia kama ngapi? So let's go in inventory, it is 6 million. So kwa absorption 6 million to less kwa huyu kwa original 2.4 inakuwa ngapi? So find the difference. So 6 million minus 2.4 inakuja around 3600. And then we are supposed to less difference in opening stock, but you remember hatukuwa na opening stock. So kwa hapo nikiangalia hapo opening stock kwa absorption hawakutupea, so ni 0, na kama kutupea huko pia hapa ni kuacha ni 0. So 0 minus 0 ni 0. Now so chukua 135, we add, then we less, we shall get the net profit yenye kwa swali pale. Net profit for absorption ni ngapi? For absorption costing. So kwa hii swali yetu wanatuambia pale chini net profit 57,35,000. 57,35,000. Confirm kama uki add net the same. Confirm kindly. So ukichukua 21,35,000 plus 33,600 inakupatia 57,35. Na hiyo ndio huko kwa swali yetu. Kenda kwa swali yetu absorption costing, is it 57,35? Kwa question 1 part B, net profit, is it 57,35? Confirm? Ndio tuende part next. So part next natuambia break even point in sales. Now break even point in sales. So tutafanya zote. So break even point in units.
Yes.
Yeah, we are good. Tuendelee tujikaze.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Sawa sawa.
Yes.
Sawa sawa. Now ametuambia we determine the units, the break even point. Now when we talk about break even point, we mean it's the point where we don't have profit. So sales and revenue, sorry, sales, not sales, revenue and profits, not, revenue and the cost are equal, or the difference between the two is 0. So at break even point, it is either profit is 0 or total revenue equals to total cost. Now, wanatuambia in this question, break even point in sales. Now, mimi nafanya zote, nafanya in units and nafanya in sales. Let us start from units. So in units, fixed cost. So this one is for single product. So this one is a formula for single product over selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. So selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. So this one is SPU, means selling price per unit. VCU means variable cost per unit. Now what's our fixed cost? Ndio hii hapa, we add the two. Wamesema according to variable to marginal costing. So our fixed cost ni mbili tu. 10,800. So it is, nimetoka kwa nini? Unajua sitaki kutoka kwa niko still within. So it is 10,800,000 plus 17,05,000. We divide it with selling price per unit. Per unit, ndio hii hapa 18,000. We are supposed to less variable cost per unit. What's our variable cost per unit? Ndio hii hapa. Tulipata pale B, ndio hii, which is 4,000. So how many units? So the 10,800 minus 17,05 divided by 18,000 minus 4,000. So mimi napata 649.64 units. So this is the point of break-even point. That is the point of break-even point. Sijui kama nimetoka kwa line. Now, let us compute break-even point in units, in cells. So break-even point in cells. Now this one is simple. Unachukua BEP in units, BEP in units, you multiply with selling price per unit. Let us see. 649.64. You multiply with our selling price per unit, 18,000. So multiply that times 18,000. Natupatia 116, 93, 571, 571.43. Remember this one is in Kenya shillings. Total sales. Kwa sababu mpaka hapo. Are we fine?
Excuse.
Rudia hiyo BP.
In units. Ongeza sauti. Nick ndo anaongea ama ni nani?
Hapo kwa fixed cost na add
Yes.
1705 ama tuna subtract kindly.
You can repeat
Tuna add zote mbili. Kwa sababu ni fixed, hapa tuna
BP.
kwa hii question yetu, lakini hapa tunachukua zote kama positive figure, tunazi add. So tunachukua 10800 plus 1705.
Nikiadd napata hiyo
You
value inafaa
repeat for
ikuwe
BP.
8932.
Acha tuone. Unapata 125,05,000.
Hiyo ukidivide yote inakuja 8932.
Oh, acha tuone 18,000 minus 4,000. Inakuja 8.
Nimepata 8932. 893.21.
Oh, yeah. 893. Oh, mimi nilifanya vibaya. 0.21 units. Sawa. So, Martin, tunasema break-even point in units ni total fixed cost we divide with selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. And remember contribution per unit. Contribution per unit is equals to selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. So kumaanisha hapa nikaa kusema fixed cost divided by contribution per unit, or fixed cost divided by selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. Na variable cost ndio hii hapa B, which ndio hii 4,000, na selling price per unit ndio hii hapa sales. So units selling price per unit was 18,000. Tuko sawa hapo? Now, another way you can do this question, ni kama hapa inaonekana, let me try here. Another way you can do this BP in sales, unachukua fixed cost, unachukua divide na contribution margin ratio. Unachukua, so fixed cost divided with the contribution margin ratio. Now, how do we get contribution margin ratio? How do we get contribution margin ratio? This is how you get it. Contribution margin ratio is equals to selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. You divide it with selling price per unit. Tujaribu tuone. Itakuwa ni 18,000 minus 4,000 over selling price per unit 18,000. Unapea ngapi? So 18,000 minus 4,000 divided by 18,000. So this is equal to 0.7778. Now, hii figure chukua, we divide with the fixed cost. So allow me to wrap this one. Tumeshafanya hii. Tuone kama utapata the same figure kama hii 116. Is it 116 or what? So BEP in sales itakuwa ndio hii hapa cost, which is 10 inakata kuandika ni 10,800 plus 17,05,000. Now we divide it with our CMF, which is 0.778. Tunasema 10,800,000 plus 17,05,000 divided by answer. Natupatia 160 77,857. So in 16 million Kenya shillings. So remember ni sales. Remember iko in sales. Na hapo tupata ngapi? To correct this one. Tunataka tupata the same answer. So mniambia hapa ni 8. So tunasema ni 10,800,000
893.21.
0.21. So 893.21 times sales inakupatia 160.
Yes, yes.
That one is all you're supposed to do that one. So that's another way to do that equation. That one equation. So that one is Kenya shillings 160 77 160 77 857. So that's how you are supposed to do that equation. So that equation was combination of two topics, marginal costing and absorption costing. So marginal costing and absorption costing. Now, can you do question number 2? Number 2B, that one is overhead absorption rate. So you are supposed to come up with the primary schedule, then later you determine using the OAR the cost of job batch B23. Can you do that one, or we do it? We do it.
Yes.
Let us do that question. So that is topic number 3, 4. So still topic number 4, and overhead costing. So on overhead costing. So remember we said that overhead costing, overhead refer to the cost incurred indirectly in order to produce a particular product or to offer a particular service or to offer a particular service. That is what we call the overhead. And then we said we have various methods of apportioning overhead. But before we apportion overhead, we need to come up with the primary production. So for us to come up with the primary production, we need to come up with the overhead analysis sheet. So that is what we call the primary. That is what we call the primary sheet. So the overhead analysis sheet. So once we have come up with the primary sheet, we can come up with the secondary sheet. So the secondary sheet consists of various items like simultaneous method, algebraic method, we have the continuous method, and so on. But for now, we are interested with primary method. So make sure you note down primary method. Then come out to find the secondary method. We shall request maybe in the next class we do secondary method. But for now, let us do primary method, and that one is overhead analysis sheet. So allow me to rub. So kama hujaandika, make sure you screenshot because I'm going to rub it. Now, for this question, you need to know the mode of absorption. So how do we absorb the cost? So unapatanga we have various method which ndawaambia. So anyone to try before niwaambie moja nikivutanga, unaweza jibu tu nikisikia kwa umbali nitakwambia kama ni correct or not. Hakuna amejaribu. Sawa sawa. So this is under topic 4. This one is question number 2B. This one is under topic 4. Topic 4. Cost accumulation. Cost accumulation. The topic cost accumulation. So under cost accumulation, we have material costing, labor costing, and overhead costing. So this question is for overhead costing. And nimesema for overhead costing, so it represents the indirect material that have been incurred in production. Now, something you need to know before even we do this question. So, basis of absorption. So you need to know the basis of absorption. Now, for example, we have flow area as one of the base. Flow area, which is a meter squared. So the basis, what is the basis? Now, in this case, wacha tunaambia kitu rahisi yenye mtakumbuka. Heat, light, what else could we add here? Repair and maintenance. Now, anything to do with building. So anything to do with building. So repair and maintenance of building, insurance for building, and so on. Anything related to building, it is under flow area. You're in common. Then you have book value. Book value, zingine zinakuwa common, but for book value, anything relating to plant and machinery. So insurance for, so anything related to plant, same PPE, plant and machinery. So insurance for PPE, what else? Maintenance for PPE. So those costs, they are under book value. So for PPE, depreciation for PPE, the book value. Depreciation for building, flow area. Then we have others like number of employees, employees. We have other things like sales, advertisement, and so on. Now let's do that question because in a may cover a lot of items and see how we can do it. Now, so we can say this is the format. So you need to start with the overhead. Overhead. Once we get an overhead, you determine base of apportionment. I hope it share. Base of apportionment. Once you come with the base of apportionment, unakuja total units. Total units, then amount, then I hope itatoshea ama nimeweka kubwa sana. Tabiri nimebadilisha tu kidogo. And then remember kwa PPS nimesahau kuambia. Under this topic, you need to know we have two departments, service department and production department. So for service, they incur cost, but that cost will be transferred to production. So they incur cost, but they are not supposed to incur. So that cost will be transferred to production department. So that was it now here. So we start with overhead. Overhead. Then base. Base of apportionment. I hope inaonekana, naandika kidogo. Apportionment, base of apportionment, and then total units, and then total amount, and then rate per unit, So this is the format. And then sasa tunakuja kwa our department. So we have two types of department. Now let's go to the question to get kwa department ngapi. Let's go to the question. We want how many department do we have? Now how many service department do we have, so that tuongeze pale mwisho. Hapa in this case hapa tunakuwa na vitu mbili. Ni kama inaonekana ama nimetoka kwa line. Let me see from the question. Bado ni mrefu hata kumbe. Ni mrefu, we can add it. Mpaka mahali hapo. Now, so how many departments? So Dynac Ltd manufacture bicycles. The company uses job costing to allocate the cost to individual product provided to the customer. So the company has 3 production departments. So the company has 3 production department. So we have production department. Production. We have T, Q, na M. Do you have service department? Hakuna. So hakuna hizo. Now this one shall not require, so hakuna hizo tatu. So hakuna hawana service. Now in the case where we have service department, ni kumaanisha we need to transfer the cost from the service to production. But hii hawana. Kumaanisha this question is for only primary. But kama tungekuwa na secondary, then the question ingekuwa ina involve both primary and secondary. But in this case, only primary. So I want us to start. Sasa kazi tu ni kujaza. So kazi iko hapa ni kujaza. So nimewambia kama kungekuwa na service department hapa, production na service, tungetufanya nini? Tungefanya primary, tukimaliza primary twende secondary. But kwa sababu ya hii swali yetu hapa tu ni production peke yake, then we shall focus with this question, which is primary. Now, anaitwa Dynamoc Ltd overhead analysis sheet. So overhead analysis sheet. Now tuanze na kwanza. Now before tuanze ya kwanza, unateremka hapa kwa production. Unaangalia kwa production pale chini kwa you have T, Q and M. Kitu ya kwanza before hata uangalie, unaenda hapo. Unaangalia you have direct labor hours, that is total cost. Unaachana nayo. Direct wages, hiyo unaachana nayo, is apportionment. So unaangalia kama we have any item which was apportioned. But in this question hakuna. So tuanze na overhead. So our overhead pale juu, turudi pale juu. Hakuna. Depreciation. Can you see depreciation? How much is the cost? The cost is 660. Now what is the basis of our absorption? Wametupatia net book value. So net book value. Can you see it? Mbele yake. So hapo tukianza pale kwa depreciation we have 660 as total amount. Next we have the basis of absorption wametupatia. So zingine watakuwa wamekupatia. But hii swali walikuwa very relevant, walitupatia. So tumejua ni net book value. Now tuende pale chini kwa net book value. Huko chini kabisa, can you see it? We have 80, 50, 90. And then remember this question is in the figure is in million. So enda pale chini kabisa before kwa required. So before kwa required, we have 80, 50 na 90. Can you see it? Add them together. So add those units together. So add those units together. So 80 plus what?
175.
170. Now for us to get the rate per unit, tunachukua 660 divided by 175. So for us to get the rate per unit, tunachukua 660 divided by 175. Remember the question is in million.
Sorry, to 220, not 220.
80 plus 50 plus 90. Let me confirm. 80 plus 50 plus 90. 220. 220. So 660 divided by 220. Now, for us to get the rate per unit, tunachukua total amount divided by the units. So 660 divided by 220, which is
3.
3. Now, we apportion this cost. So e to 20, this 3 inasaidia kwa apportion for T, Q, and M. So tuanze turudi pale chini kwa net book value. What was the value for T kwa net book value? 80 million. So unaiona pale 80. Now unachukua, so this one unachukua that figure una multiply na rate per unit. So tuanze na kwanza T ni 80. 80 times 3 240. Kwa Q ni ngapi? It was 50. 50 times 3 150. Can you see it? And then 90. Ya mwisho ilikuwa ni 90. 90 times 3 270. Now ukiadd this one 240 plus 150 plus 270 inafaa kupatia 600. We have apportioned 660 to T, Q, and M. So hii 660 ndio tulikuwa tuna apportion. So we are supposed to apportion this depreciation cost to T, Q, and M. So ndio tujue T itachukua ngapi, Q itachukua ngapi, and M itachukua ngapi. So tumesema 660 divided by 220. Tukapata 3. So this 3 will help us to do what? To transfer this 660 to T, Q, and M, so that utapata 240, 150 na 270 ukizi add, which is 660. Hiyo iko sawa? Next, indirect labor. Indirect labor. So what about indirect labor? What is the amount? 900. So the amount is 900. So we need to transfer this amount 900 to T, Q, and M. So 900 million. So base of absorption, ametuambia direct labor hours. Direct labor hours. So tuende kwa chini tuangalie hours. Direct labor hours uko chini iko 5,000 plus 3,000 plus 2,000. Add them together so that you can get the total units in form of hours. So add them together.
10,000.
10,000. Sawa sawa. 10,000. Aya. We divide, so total amount divided by the units. So 900 minus 10,000 divided by 10,000. So 900 divided by 10,000. 0.0. 0.09. Now we apportion this 900 pale. So ya kwanza ilikuwa ngapi? 5,000. You remember? The first one ilikuwa ya T ilikuwa ni 5,000. We multiply with 0.09. Na kupatia 450. 450. Aya, wa pili alikuwa ni 3,000. So 3,000 times 0.09, which is 270. And then wa mwisho ni 2,000 times 0.09, which is approximately 180. So kiasi the two. So tujaribu 450 plus 270 plus 180. This one is 900. So kiasi the 3 inakupatia 900. Is that correct? Then when I repair and maintenance, repair and maintenance. Tumeandika hivyo, new repair and maintenance, total cost 110. Basis of absorption. Na hiyo ametupatia. So hiyo tunaweka direct. So tuanze na ya kwanza. So ya kwanza 30% of 110. So hiyo ameshatupatia basis. So that ya kwanza mtuambia ni 30%. So 30% of 110. So unaweka direct, which is 33. And then kutoka ni 30%. Yes. And then kutoka kwa 30%, 50% of 110, which is 55. And then 20% of 110, which is 22. Get them together, nafai kupatie the same figure. Hapo tuko sawa? So ilikuwa direct. That one was direct. There was no method of absorption. So tutoka kwa repair and maintenance, tunaenda kwa heat and lighting. Heat and light. Heat and light. The total amount is 90. The base is flow area. Flow area. So in meters squared. Now, tuende pale chini kwa meter squared flow area to add them together. Takuwa ngapi? Yes. When you add them together, ukiziadd
10,000.
10,000. Okay, yes, that one is correct. So sitaki hii mwangaza hiyo nini. But I hope inaonekana. 10,000. So umesema ni 10,000. Divided per unit, tunachukua total amount divided by the units. So 90 divided by 10,000. Itakuwa ngapi? Itakuwa ni 0. Ngoja nione. Hii calculator yangu ni mbaya. So 1, 2, 3, 0.009. Is that correct? I think that one is correct. Now let's apportion. So the first one was 5,000 times 0.09 for 50. Hapana. 0 ni mbili. 0.9. 45. 45. Haya, tukitoka kwa hiyo tunaenda kwa 4,000. Hii ni 36. And then kutoka hapo tunaenda kwa 1,000, which is 9. Get them together, divide kwa 90. So 45 plus 36 plus 9. Iko sawa? So tumemaliza hiyo, tuende next. Consumable suppliers. So consumable suppliers. Consumable suppliers. Total amount. Wanasema ni 30. Na basis of absorption. Direct labor hours. Direct labor hours. Ndio tulikuwa tumeshaka kompyuta kwa juu. Ni ngapi? 10,000. Direct labor hours ndio hii. Direct labor hours divide itakuwa 0.003. Now, so hiyo direct labor hours kuna ingine? Hakuna. So 5,000 ya kwanza. 5,000 times 0.03, which is 15. And then kutoka hapo kwa 5,000 tunaenda kwa 4,000, which is 12. which is 12, and then tunamalizia na not 4 ni 3, nimefanya makosa. So hii ni 9. 9. And then tumalizia mwisho kwa 2000, which ni 6. So kiasi ni 3. So 15 plus 9 plus 6 nakupatia 30. Then tuko na ya mwisho pale, general overhead. So general overhead. Now wametuambia general overhead 20% of the direct wage cost. Do you have the direct wage cost? So una add zote. Tena pale chini direct wage cost we have 150. Can you see it? 150. So unafaa kuadd 150 pale chini kwa production department. So direct wage cost 150 plus 210. So let us do the working for general overhead. For general overhead, we are supposed to add, so itakuwa 20% of, so we add them together, 150 plus 210 plus 150 plus 210 plus 100.
460.
Itakuwa 460.
460. Yes.
Then you multiply with 20%. So times 20%, which is 90. So our cost here ni ngapi? 92. Now the basis of absorption ni wage cost. Wage cost, which ni ngapi? 150, which is 4. We'll say 460, this one.
Yes, 460.
So the base of absorption is 460. So 92 divided by 460, which is 0.2. Now tuanze na kwanza 150. So 150 times 0.2, which is 30. Then to 10, which is 42. Then tumalizia ya mwisho 100, which is 20. Tunachukua 30 plus 42 plus 20, 92. Now tumemaliza kila kitu. Now this is the primary, so you add them together. This one is the primary overhead. So if you want to get the total cost for each production, so total cost tuanze na huyu, we add them together, huyu na huyu. So 240 plus 450 to get the total cost, plus 33 plus 45 plus 15 plus 30, which is 8. 30 ni kidogo tu. So that is nilikuwa pata ngapi? 813. 813. Then you have 150 plus 270 plus 55 plus 36 plus 9. So make sure you add pia. Nisikuwe napata vitu zangu. 562 270 plus 180 plus 22 plus 9 plus 6 plus 20. 547. Mama, it is in million. So production, so production, T production will incur 813 million, Q will incur 562, and M will incur 547. That one is part A. That one is what we call the primary, or the overhead absorption sheet. So we call it the overhead analysis sheet, or the primary analysis. What is the primary analysis, or the primary production? How is that? Now, part B, what was the requirement for part B? So we are supposed to calculate the overhead absorption rate. So overhead absorption rate. Now, so overhead absorption rate, OAR, which I mentioned overhead absorption rate. Now, the thing you need to know unafaa kujiuliza this cost is absorbed on which basis? On which basis? So umetuambia on direct labor hours. So what you do, unasema is equal to production overhead. Production overhead. We divide it with direct hours. Direct labor hours. So tunaanza na T. So what is the production overhead? 813 million. We divide it with the direct labor hours. Wamesema, let me read the question again. So it's absorbed on which basis? Information number, requirement number 2. So each department is absorbed using the direct labor hours. Do you have the direct labor hours to connect by you? Add them together. Add them together. So ndio hii hata hapa. Hata kuna what together. Ndio hii hapa. So this iko in thousand or iko in what? We have 5, 3 and 2. So tuko na, so we have 5,000 niweke hapa. We have 5,000, 3,000 and 2,000. Now the question is, tutadivide na nini? Tutadivide na 5,000 ya T ama tutadivide na total? So that's the question. Tutadivide na each, si ndio? So ya huyu itakuwa divided by 5,000. 5,000. Ndio tupate the OAR, absorption rate, itakuwa cost per hour. So inakuwa cost per hour. So 813 divided by 5,000. So it's equal to Kenya shillings 0.1626 per hour. To the next Q ni 562 divided by the total hours 3,000. So 562 divided by 3,000, which is 0 Kenya shillings 0.187 per hour. And then we have M, which is 507 divided by 2,000. So 507 divided by 2,000, which is Kenya shillings 0.2535 per hour. Now I want you to go and confirm kama unachukua divided by total. So 8 divided by 10,000, 562 divided by 10,000, 507 divided by 10,000, or by each. So utaweza confirm hiyo. But for now mimi naona na each. So that one is part B. Part C. The quotation job as a batch bid Q23 with the following information. We have direct cost. Size ni rahisi. Now in short hapa nakwambia you come up with the cost. So we are required to come up with the total cost per batch. Total cost per batch. So hiyo ni rahisi. So sasa kuvuta hii kwa sababu tutahitaji. So what you do, this is how you come up with a batch statement. This is the format for batch statement. Hapa inaonekana batch statement. So nafaa kwanza na direct material. Direct material. Now direct material mtobea kwa swali ni ngapi? Let me pick the question. So direct material umetuambia pale ni $140 million. So iko in million. Now we are supposed to put now to in million. To take in million. Let's put it in million ndio iko rahisi. Iko 140. To take in million. Kwa sababu hii information yetu tumeweka in million kama pale, so hata tuweke in million. Tuanze na direct labor. Direct labor. Ndio tuanze na ya kwanza. Tuanze na T. Tuanze na T 550 times 0.1 1626. 1626. Next, Q, 8090 hours times cost per hour, 0.187. Then ya mwisho, 160 times 0.2535. So add them together, utapata the total cost per batch. Total cost per batch. Remember it is in? Remember it is in million. That marks the end of that question, but let us finish it completely. So last sitting was very easy. So when you walifanya walitoka wakisema hivi. So 1626. So this is around 89.43. So 89.43. Then you have 890. 890 times 0.187, which is 166.43. And then 160 times 0.25, 35, 40.56. We add them together. So 140 plus 89.43, 166.43, then 40.56. So the total cost in million is 436.42. So this one is in million. So that's how you are supposed to do that question for the batch. I think there is no anything else which we can say. But what we can say is that is how you are supposed to do that question. Question number 3. Number 3B. Question number 4B. Before we do number 3, question number 4B, we did it in class. It is there in YouTube. 4B. That one is the process costing. So end up at YouTube would have the CPA. Ibrahim Diko. Then you went kwa valuation, went kwa management accounting playlist, MA playlist. Then you went hapo kwa process costing. Then you went kwa valuation of work in progress using FIFO method. So the question for that sitting, your question 4B, imeifanya hapo. So that one will be good for you to go and review. Now, what is the time? So sio kama tunaweza kuwa na FM. Hata mimi nasikia nimechoka. I've been teaching since kutoka saa ngapi? Kutoka 5. So I've been teaching QA from 5 to 7 sharp, 7:20 hadi hapo 7:20. Then tukapick from there. Kaendelea. But so far not bad. At least tumefanya overhead analysis sheet as a topic. Na tukafanya budget statement. This format of budget statement. Or sometimes ukiwa wanaitanga job statement. You can call it a job statement. Or you can also call it a standard statement, a standard cost statement, which is it. Now we can continue tomorrow for FM. So kesho maybe tunaweza fanya 2 questions. Ndio venye tumekuwa the first day tumejaribu. We are supposed to do at least 1 question or 2. So this one ilikuwa very mrefu na the other one pia ilikuwa mrefu sana, but at least nikifunza na wakumbusha what we did in our class. Anyway, for now I think we can call it a day, sivyo? What do you think? Kama fanya swali nyingine?
I think we should stop there for today.
So you going to review that one and make sure natumia kwa group notes. Yeah, this topic. Cost accumulation. So iko na material costing, labor costing na overhead. So in the overhead. So we have others like material costing, we have FIFO method, the LIFO method. Make sure you are familiarize hizo. But lazima tafanya swali moja ya LIFO na swali moja ya FIFO na weight average method. So tatumia your notes, you check. The handwritten, it's a good one. So niliscan nikifunza, so nilifunza mtu and then kwa class nikamwambia nipeni ka scan. Though rating yake sio mzuri sana, but tutapambana tu na hali vile ndivyo. Sasa, so let us meet tomorrow for FM. Then the day after tomorrow tufanye tax. And then nataka tujipange tujue vile tutakuwa tukifanya 2 units per day ndio ikuwe rahisi. At least tunafanya swali moja. So tunasema swali moja. Anaweza mnakuwa mnarecomendia, mnaniambia leo fanya hii swali. Mnaangalia kwa past paper, mna recommend, and then tuna decide which one we shall do in class. Sawa sawa?
Yes.
Good.
Sawa sawa, let us meet tomorrow. Have a lovely night.
You too.